Hopefully this will stop some of y'all from inviting everybody just for anything to the cookout, because y'all is getting out of control anyway. So hopefully this taught y'all a lesson. What up guys, my name is Cherie. If you are new here, thank you for clicking on this video today. And today we are doing a movie review and we are talking about Sinners. Let's get started. So again, if this is your first time watching my recaps, it's not really truly a recap. It's just a combination of random thoughts that I have about a movie, and I have my notebook here that I write all of my random thoughts down in. So you'll see me looking down to reference that. But yeah, because it's just too much to just do a linear recap when I just have a bunch of random thoughts, hence the name of this channel. First of all, I love an original story because I don't think that is a rarity these days, because everybody is just copying everybody. Just if they see this doing well, then they're going to do that. Like if they saw, you know, one reboot or something do well, then we're going to reboot everything. And there's like a lack of original thoughts and stories. So to walk in this knowing that it was an original story and to just see it, it was just so beautiful, so beautiful. I love the scene that showed how our culture, and when I say our, I mean Black Americans, how our culture kind of like the history of it, I should say, and how it has changed throughout the years, and the idea that a person has a voice that is so soulful that it will summon the ancestors and as well as those of the future, and the way that they did it. My God, Ryan Coogler, you are a special type of person. And I'm not even a person who likes horror movies, because I don't, like I said, I did a TikTok just on my initial thoughts right after I left the theater. I don't play with demons and spirits because I know they exist in the real world. So I don't go entertain them. I don't go places to watch things that intentionally scare me because life is scary enough. So I tend to avoid all those things that are scary like that. But I knew that vampires were involved. So I was like, okay, you know, we know for sure that vampires don't exist. So let me go see what's going on. And I wanted to support Ryan and Michael B. Jordan. So yeah, I'm so glad that I went to see it. But yeah, back to that scene, I just crossed the place. I got emotional watching that because it was just so well done. And there was lots of themes and messages throughout this movie, and I'll just highlight a few, the ones that I can really talk about, because some of it is really just not to be on the internet. It is kitchen table talk, especially if you are someone that, you know, you work in corporate, you have to, you know, because you never know. But a lot of that is kitchen table talk, but I'll share what I can, my thoughts here. The idea of us having such a unique and rich and soulful culture, that people literally, they want to steal it, they want to crush it if they can't have it. The theme of someone pretending to want better for you and to be your ally, and if you reject any of their thoughts and things, like they really mean you harm, right? So that theme was very heavy throughout the film. And I love that you can tell that Ryan made this movie like it's kind of a love letter to Black culture. And I say that, and I hate when people ask you like, where are you originally from? I'm like, fool, I'm American. Like, I don't know. And I'll just speak on my experience. When I went to Africa, I went to Ghana about 2 years ago, and I don't know what I was expecting, but they don't see you as African. They see you as American, specifically American dollars, especially when they hear that American accent. So just like they be trying to scam those other white Americans, they're trying to scam your Black behind too. And they don't see you as a part of them. They see you, they may pretend And I'm not trying to start something, but this is just my experience and how I felt after visiting Africa. They may pretend like, oh, you're coming home, welcome, American. So I think it is very important for Black Americans to, one, heavily fight back against the idea that we don't have culture, because it's so obviously crazy, a notion that Black Americans don't have culture when our culture drives main culture. More so that everybody wants to steal and take our culture. So yeah, I love that Ryan embraced Black American culture, and specifically Southern Black American culture. As someone who was born and raised in the low country of South Carolina, in the backwoods of the low country of South Carolina, I was like, this feels familiar. It feels very familiar. I should also mention the casting was inclusive. So we had like, and let me just stop because my brain is running faster than my mouth. There was East Asians, what else did they have? Native Americans, and of course white. So it was a very, it was a diverse cast. I want to research, because I saw somebody mention this on Threads about how East Asians, like there's a history there in Mississippi. So me being the nerd that I am, I want to do more research on that, to see like how real was that and how big of a population was the East Asians in the South. I thought it was, and it's still going on today, which is just wild, that they were the ones who had the shops. And they owned a lot of the stuff in the Black community. And this was like, what, 1932? And here we are, 2025. In the DC area, I see a lot of them having soul food places. And yeah, I'm not gonna, again, that's kitchen table. I'm not gonna go down there, so let's keep going. Michael B. Jordan did his big acting. Like, he really gave a true identity to both twins, so Smoke and Stack. Whereas Smoke was a former soldier and he was more of the smart, careful, planned, thought out one, whereas Stack was kind of the more, I don't want to use the term brute, but he was just more, what's the right word? I would say he's more of the one that is more like do first and think later, right? But you really could see, and it wasn't hard, or you wouldn't like think like, oh, this is just a gimmick, right? You really saw two personalities that was being portrayed by one person. Michael B. Jordan, you did your big thing in this film. Well done, sir. Well done. Another thing that I wanted to mention was Annie being loved on. Again, I think I mentioned this. I forgot where I mentioned that, but I said that I love seeing darker skinned women, more plus size, and I don't even consider it plus size, like somebody that's not a size 2 being loved on out loud. And because a lot of the time you'll see it in real life, yes. But in terms of what you see in magazines, on TV, you don't see that. It's like these people, or this subgroup does not exist, or they don't get love, right? They're going to be the funny friend or whatever. So I was just so happy and excited to see her being loved on. And again, that voodoo, it's giving reminiscences of the Low Country. It felt so familiar, especially like me personally, coming from the Geechee Gullah community. It was very familiar, so I like that. And it also made me realize, like, again, why I have a hard time with the idea of dating outside my culture. And I don't even say like race, because if you can't identify with my culture, whether you be white, Indian, Asian, Hispanic, whatever, I can't, like, it has to. That's why I don't want to mention that, because again, that's kitchen table talk, so I'm gonna zip on that. But I have to be with someone who grew up in my culture, or they really understand it and identify with it. I don't want to have to teach no one something. I don't want to have to explain to you why I have to put on a bonnet every night, or why I may take 2 showers a day. And I'm not going down that road, but yeah, I don't want to have to explain those cultural nuances to someone. So that I kind of am stuck in this narrow box, which makes it hard to date outside of that. Does that make sense? The South is beautiful. The South is really, really a beautiful place. And just the background, the juke joint, the community, it just, and I keep saying this over and over in this video, it felt like home for me. It was well done, Ryan, well done. Also, at the end of the video, at the end of the movie, where the new character, not a new character, oh, what kind of, my thoughts are just coming so fast. The main character, I can't remember his name, Preacher Boy, he started reciting the Lord's Prayer, and the vampires knew it. The enemy knew it. Like, the enemy knows scripture. The enemy knows how to use scripture, manipulate it, which we see a lot of time in these churches. They know it. So it's not, he's like, I know this too. What you saying this for? I know this. We can say it too. Let's say it together while I kill you. But yeah, just be careful of dealing with people who are quick to use religion and all these things to manipulate people to do whatever they want to do. So just be mindful. And again, the last thing I want to emphasize before I wrap this just quick review, or we call it a review, be aware of the culture vultures. Like, just, we really need to put a box around. I know we've done it before, and they come along and they bomb it, because I'm not going down that road either. But just, I want us to be more protective of our culture. Like, I'm in a professional group on Facebook where it's specifically for a niche profession that is specifically targeted towards Black Americans who work in this specific field. And I'm an admin on that group. And so I get to screen people who come in. You guys have no idea how many times I have to delete or reject people who are not Black that are trying to get into this group. The group was created to be a safe space for Black Americans to share our thoughts and resources and ideas and activities about the specific professional, area. And they really, and I mean, it's a lot. And it's like, they come in trying to be allies, but it's like, we can't have nothing to ourselves without someone coming and trying to infiltrate it and take over. It's just, I want us to be more protective of our spaces. And then you have fools who from the inside just working against us. It's just a lot. And I think that this movie brought attention to that. That's another common theme in it. Again, I want us to be more protective of our culture. But yeah, overall, this was a great movie. I would give it 4.7 out of 5 stars. The only reason I took away 0.3 is because, what did I say? 4, I did say 4.7, right? So did I say 4.8? 4.7, because I'm taking away 3/10 because I was waiting for some type of major twist or big aha moment. And I felt like the movie lacked that. And people were like, oh, wait till after the closing credits. And that was just like, okay, that happened, but it wasn't like some big aha for me, where it's just like something that I couldn't have figured out. So that was the only critique I would have of the movie. Otherwise, chef's kiss. Well done, Mr. Coogler. I love your Blackness. I love the way that you honor us. Thank you for making this movie. Thank you for the original story, and keep doing the good job that you've been doing. So yeah, if you watch Sinners, let me know what you thought in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.